Hi guys, BetterStrategy here. I'm going to go over what I think is the best start that you can have on Supreme Strait and the Eco spot. That's kind of the spot. And this one is the Supreme, either Isthmus or Strait. It's the same for this spot, but just Supreme Strait in the rear 4MEX spot. And yeah, kind of the position I'm showing right now. For Eco, this is what I think is the strongest start you can have. And what is different about this build is my mindset is what is the fastest way to get to 2 AFUS. And so that's kind of where this build is centered around. So normally the build is how fast can you get to 1 AFUS, but if you do a 1 AFUS build alone, you have a slow second AFUS. So what I'm doing is just going straight for 2 AFUS. And this run is starting with very high wind. So because I'm seeing high wind, I'm only building 1 wind turbine here because I'm seeing like 19. I don't want to be overflowing too much on wind. I'm watching the wind like a hawk. And if it drops below like 15, I'm going to build that 4th windmill before building the lab. But this is a pretty nice start. So I'm just going to put all my, I don't want to overflow. And I'm just going to put it into that lab. That way I can get some build power down sooner, speed things up. But yeah, you don't have, you'd probably do 2 windmills or 3 after the first mechs if the wind is stalling a little. And yeah, so building the first lab. This build's going to open similar to the Dronco build, but it's kind of more of a 2 AFUS build, which I think is more impactful in a game on Supreme Strait. The first Lazarus is coming out and grabbing the pond rocks, followed by just trees forever. And then I am building a construction bot, and that con bot is going to come down and build 2 con turrets. And I'm waiting till I have enough energy to just boost that one out. And wind's a little stalling, so I'm just kind of finding the right balance here. And I'm not even sure if this converter is that necessary because I'm going to stall a little due to that converter. So maybe I shouldn't have built that converter. That's kind of a mistake. I don't know how much it affects it because it will give me some metal. So it's kind of a wash of whether or not that is going to be too big of a deal. But what it means is my commander is going to be a little slower getting up to the metal extractor on the north. So once I get my commander, he's done building his 10 wind turbines. He's going to start dumping extra energy he's got into this metal, into this con turret, just so we don't start overflowing. And then he's going on his way. He's gonna build that mechs, and he's gonna build energy converters because we need a lot of energy converters in this build. We're gonna build T1 energy converters, very many T1 energy converters, because we're gonna be online with an AFUS fully online a lot faster than you normally are. So I've just got the 2 T1 con bots. They're just kind of working together, building a con turret. And this is mainly just to prevent e-stall. So I'm just kind of trying to avoid e-stall and avoid energy overflow. This guy's going to eat the local trees because we want him to go ahead and contribute some energy. And these con bots are building windmills on the right side, kind of leaving a little channel so they can walk through. Maybe the windmills aren't an OP layout, so a single bomber takes you completely out. And yeah, these Lazarus are going and collecting energy that's close by now because we really need that energy. And wind is 16, so that's kind of like average wind. It's still pretty strong. And yeah, so Lazarus eating lab now. It's 341, and we're just kind of building windmills with 2 con turrets and 2 construction bots, which is really fast. And as we're eating this lab, in this build, if you eat that lab, you're actually going to start overflowing on metal. So we're going to go ahead and throw down a metal storage. And I'm pulling the energy slider so we don't overflow. I checked in, didn't overflow much. So we want to get that metal storage. We are building wind turbines. I've got 12 turbines per con bot. And the top one's going to keep building. The bottom one, when he's done with that, he's going to start building a lab. But right now, he's just building more turbines. So I'm just kind of making sure that they have a lot of work queued up. Meanwhile, the commander is now going up to 10 energy converters up there. And maybe more. We're just throwing down a ton of energy converters because these converters are going to be so important later. Like in a lot of videos, they reclaim the converters, but in my build, we leave them because tier 1 energy converters are kind of overpowered. And let's see. Looks like, yeah, at about when you have all that build power on that, I'm still building turbines with one of my conbots, but you see at around 1,000 metal, I start walking the comm out because that's about the timing. So 1,000 metal in the bank and about that many turbines is when I want to start walking the comm to blow them up. And you start eating the comm. We're still keeping our energy in check. Wind's at 12 right now, but we have a ton of wind turbines, which is actually keeping us from e-stalling. So I'm kind of building this build around the wind might drop, but we have extra turbines. So if we have 6 wind, we still aren't e-stalling, which is very nice. We're just not getting the free metal on top of that. And so once this lab completes, I actually let these guys get back to work making more wind turbines because we have the conversion capacity and maybe, yeah, I do interrupt and have them get, upgrade the build turret amount. We're going to go up to 4 total build turrets and we're just kind of balancing that, making sure we're not e-stalling too hard. Oh, the advanced con comes out. He's gonna help. He's gonna help build the other build turrets. But I started with the blueprint first. But we probably want to get those build turrets up before we get started on the advanced mexes. We're still if you look in this build, just keep this in mind. We are energy stalled. We have the Lazarus to kind of hold us alive. So the Lazarus are kind of handling the super low wind, but we are energy stalling right now due to the wind. So this is not like a Drongo build where you have to set the wind at a constant 15 or 16 to do it. This build is robust and sturdy, so it will not just fail on you if the wind drops. It's because we got like 40 wind turbines here. I'm still making some wind turbines. And yeah, so we're just making sure to get these advanced extractors up because these are the most important thing. That's where your economy really starts to scale. He needs to get that blueprint down. And at some point I do stop making turbines. I think I overbuilt turbines here a little bit. And so the advanced con's going to drop the AFUS blueprint now. And we want to just keep that AFUS blueprint alive. And he's going up to the final advanced extractor, and this guy is going to come with him and he's going to build a con turret. Now in future versions, I actually send him up a little sooner to build the con turret, get that con turret pre-built. And I think you actually get online faster with the 4th mechs if you're sending them up to make a con turret instead of making windmills. So there's a little bit of like had I done that more optimally, we probably would have been even faster. But this guy's coming up. He's going to build a con turret here, like in range of the advanced mechs. And then the advanced con is actually going to help build that con turret. And then they're going to both work on the advanced mechs together. And then that con turret is not a waste because this build is all about synergy. So that con turret is not just there to get the advanced mechs up. It's there to build T1 energy converters also. So the advantage of this is these converters aren't going to clutter up your main base and they're going to power your AFUS, or your AFUS is going to power them. But what I noticed is when you finish the AFUS, you spend like over a minute building your advanced converters, which slows you down a lot and you're missing out on the free metal and all that stuff. So when you're doing this build, the AFUS comes online and we don't overflow and we are basically online. The basic converters cost 1/4 as much as advanced converters, and the time to get paid back is like 6 minutes or so. It's a long time before the advanced converters pay you back compared to basic converters. So we're skipping the advanced converters here. We're just going basic converters and windmills. So T1 Eco OP. Anyways, now I've got 8 con turrets. I think I go up to 9, and then maybe I actually reclaim one because I overbuilt them. But yeah, we're going up to the 8, 9 con turrets here. And here's another case where I could have played this better because these Lazarus, I actually could have been reclaiming some of the the metal storage, but it's fine. One con turret eating the metal storage kind of works out. And Advanced Con is just building that AFUS, and those are sitting around now. If you look to the north, we're making energy converters en masse, and I'm just queuing up what happens after that AFUS finishes. And yeah, so the AFUS is going to come online at around 11 minutes, which is, somewhat slow, right? 11-minute AFUS is not a very fast AFUS. However, what's faster, so we wasted a little time building these converters on the north side. They actually cost 17 metal worth of energy when you build them. So if I'm building those, I'm losing 17 metal each one that's built. So it is slowing you down, and I'm gonna have to reclaim a couple windmills to offset that. But we're just we don't want the AFUS to be delayed. So I'm just, at this point, I have a little extra energy, and I'm eating, I had the 44 windmills. I'm going to eat 3 of them just because I want this reactor online. So I eat 3 windmills, and then I eat an extra build turret. The reactor is so close, and once I get that done, the reactor can finish on its own. And so once that reactor is getting finished, we want, once that reactor gets finished, I actually start walking so I should have been walking the guy, but I didn't. So I have him drop a blueprint right above the AFUS just because I don't want to waste time. So I still had a little bit of energy overflow. So what I'm doing is I'm building 1 advanced converter, which is a lot faster to build than 4 advanced converters. So the 1 advanced converters, see how much time this advanced converter takes? It's 20 seconds. So I build 1 advanced converter. I'm building the anti-nuke just like you would in a normal build. But at this point in time, we are almost completely up and running. So it's not like we just built an AFUS and we're starting to build our eco. We built an AFUS and it is already fully converting all of that energy into metal. So 12 minutes, 10 or so seconds, anti-nuke comes up. And then we're starting AFUS number 2. Look at all that metal in the bank. So AFUS number 2 with 1,500 metal in the bank at 12 minutes. Get that 16th con turret. And this is where I am going to start reclaiming the windmills. I'm sending all the Lazarus back to reclaim windmills. And yeah, this guy's just building the basic converters to power AFUS number 2. So he's just coming back. He's going to build another con turret and then start building converters for AFUS number 2. So I added a second con turret because I have twice the economy. I need to build faster because this AFUS is a lot faster than the second one. So building a second con turret to build a bunch of more T1 eco. So T1 converters are the way to go. And I wanted to not metal stall, so I kind of set a couple con turrets to just eat windmills while that builds so that we don't e-stall. Meanwhile, these Lazarus are doing it as well. And I'm just trying to balance the, we don't want, the longer the windmill exists, the more metal it provides. So if we can keep the windmill alive any longer, it's providing metal as is being built. Now, I haven't figured exactly how many advanced converters I need, so I'm just throwing down a box of 4. But as you see, we are almost done with the AFUS, 1348 for second AFUS. And right here, I was trying to be a little faster, but it cost me. So now we stalled. It would have been a sub 14 minute 2 AFUS, but I was too late on the reclaim. So now we're at 1404, which is very fast for 2 AFUS. It could have been faster if I wasn't bad at the game, but yeah, what are we going to do? But this is what I think is the fastest build. I've seen the Drongo fastest AFUS build where he goes to 6 Lazarus, and that's about 14 minutes to get to 2 AFUS, but he's taken all of these pond rocks. So if you saw, like, I've only taken the pond rocks. I haven't taken the peninsula rocks or the Long Beach rocks. I've only taken the pond rocks, so the team isn't getting robbed by me blind. And that's what I think is more realistic for a real game. And so now what's going to happen next is I'm just going to show how fast this build converts into building actual, let's say, a Marauder Rush. So I actually am making another mistake here because I'm scaling up my economy. I could have sticked with the 4-pack, but I didn't. So I'm just building up energy converters until I'm able to. Actually, so that energy converter should be the last one I need. And so I just needed 2. So instead of 4 energy converters, I only needed 2 energy converters. And now we're going to throw it on the Gantry blueprint. And it's okay that I'm walking, because as long as my metal doesn't overflow, I've got excess build power, so it's fine. If you notice, I was, for a second there, I was overflowing on energy, but it wasn't by much. So I could have maybe, so while I'm using my metal, I actually, have the right amount. It's pretty perfectly balanced, but when it's not, it's not perfectly balanced before, and they're still building basic converters up there on the top. Over here, advanced converters are still, or basic converters are still being built. So I'm reining things in, and I'm eating some of those contours that I didn't need to build in the first place because I want to be a little faster. Had I not built those, we probably would have, been even quicker on our rollout. But yeah, 1522, I'm almost done with the experimental gantry. And we are, 1530 gantry done. So I'd say, 1527 gantry done. And we are fully operational. And we're pumping Marauders with 2 AFUSs.